Okay, welcome back, peoples. We're here with freaking November Steam releases. So, preface again, introduction. Every day I take a look at Steam games that get released that are not free and are video games or under the game category. I take a brief look at them and I try to see what's good that comes out. And this is good based on my preferences, things that I find interesting or that I find good. So the background for me as a player is I'm mostly a platformer. I love platforming games. I love a lot of games, but that is my preference. I love platformers and I dislike simulation games. So those are like my two ends of the spectrum. So to preface what games I will look at, and maybe I have a stronger opinion on platformers, less strong opinion on simulation. Or it could go both ways, depending on what property I'm taking a look at. But this is all surface level, so some of these games I haven't played at all. Some of them I decide to pick up, some of them I don't. Most of them I don't. So all surface level. They could be good, they could be bad. I'm just giving my surface level thoughts. So nothing too deep, right? It's going deep into the surface. if that's a way to put it, right? I take a look at the surface and I try to extrapolate as much information I can just from looking at the Steam page. All right, so let's get started. We're doing an overview of games that I thought were good in November, right? So here's my list in November. I post this all on Blue Sky and Twitter. If you want to follow and keep up to date with things that I'm posting, things that I'm looking at. So November 15th, or is this supposed to be November 1st? Oops. November 1st, one game released, and it's this game, and it was alright. It's a rhythm shooter, so there's like a foundation there, but it was like an Unreal asset collection game, just a bunch of assets mishmashed together. But the game had potential. Wait, I think this is supposed to be 15 games. I don't know. Something's up here. All right. So standout games. November 2nd, we have The Adventure of Ravi and Navi. So if we take a look at that, this is your, what do you call it? What's the Banjo-Kazooie style game? It's pretty basic for the most part. But, I think it does exactly what it's trying to do. I think it's like someone loves those types of games. They want to make their own, so they whip something out, and this looks all right. I'm not expecting something like crazy or super in depth, because my expectation looking at this game is that it's trying to capture the old, or like the, what do you call it, nostalgia of games like Banjo and Kazooie, or like the old Mario Sunshine or something. Something along those lines. Maybe like the Donkey Kong game. And I think it completely does the job. Just from the assets, from the way it plays, the style of platforming it has, right? Even the character's charm, the simplicity. So everything here works together to do the purpose that I see that it's trying to do. What the actual purpose is, who knows? But I think that's the purpose, and it does the job that I think it's trying to do. So it gets a good thumbs up from me. I don't think I'd pick it up because I don't know. See, you can see some Mario Sunshine right here, but I don't think I'd pick this up because I have so much backlog. I still gotta finish Yooka-Laylee, but this game seems decent. Let's see what the reviews say. Yeah, I don't think it'll gain any traction, but it seems like it's a decent game. Good job, HSA Entertainment. Let's see, next. So if I put this on the games, so yeah, I do have a list of games here. I put that somewhere around like here, Adventures Karate. November 3rd. I don't think anything stood out to me there. Number 4th, XOL Space Mech Wars. So XOL Space Mech. I'm a big Gundam video game fan. I like the Gundam video games. I've only played a couple of them, but they're all like Armored Core Gundam. I'm like interested in those, in that style of game. And this one, visually it stands out, but I'm not sure if there's much gameplay. Like I like this game visually as hitting all the marks, right? Like the environment, the effects, how you move around in the space, all the laser beams. This I'm super down with. But this trailer is just that. It shows only the gameplay and like the different perspectives you can do. Like I have no idea what the UI looks like, the HUD, the menus. There's none of that here, right? None of that is shown here. So this game is it's got 98% positive reviews, so I'm guessing that it should be pretty decent. They have voiceovers made by AI, this AI content disclosure. My guess is that it's the standard Sanctum 2 AI voice, like they took a bunch of linguistic or phonetic sounds and then they use that to produce the voice for whatever is typed or something. That is my guess. Reviews say that just a mech game, good mech game. And you know what? I feel the same way. It looks like a good mech game. It's unfortunately only single player. If it was multiplayer, I got the new Gundam EX VS Boost where you can fight other players. That would have been so sick. But you know, single player is alright too. So, you know, I like mech games. It's like a combination of platforming and combat, or like space platforming, I guess. You know, the presentation is really good. Still don't know about the UI or like how much game there is outside of this, but the presentation here is very good. I like the presentation. That's that. So I like that game. I'm gonna put it probably here. From the thumbnail, it looks. I wouldn't say that the thumbnail is very good, but you know, you can't really go wrong with space mechs and going ham in space. So, alright. Number 5th, we have Qplex and Deadcam. So Qplex is a cube puzzle game. And this one, visually, like the theme and the color really work together. The assets really match. I know you guys are like, oh, black, white, gray. But like, you know, there are other games that do black, white, gray and they don't really hit the marks, right? But for this game, I feel like the way they designed it and the lighting and the choices where how the color is used is done very well. So visually, it pops out. And then it's got good UI. I like the UI here. It's very organized. It still fits the theme. It like matches with the game. A lot of games struggle with matching the UI with the game. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the theme of the UI doesn't fit the game. It's either default UI, which immediately gives me like thumbs down. Like if you have default UI, I kind of just like that Unreal default UI or the Unity default UI, and if it doesn't match your game theme, I immediately, it gives me thumbs down. You're a game developer and you're working on a game, please try to make the UI at least have some fit, or something that's like, if the default UI fits your game, that's okay, but typically, most likely, it's not going to fit your game. Please make the UI like something that has the charm, that like brings out the charm of your game. So that's what I feel like this game. very good presentation. Right? I like the presentation. The music for the trailer really fits. It's like highlighting the game's strengths in a way that is visually appealing, right? Like kind of like a Nintendo Direct, right? Which is, you know, if your trailer has that much effort put into it, it immediately makes me think, oh yeah, this game's probably pretty decent, right? Because the person decided to put time and effort into how they want to show you what their game is, right? And from the puzzles look like they're standard cube puzzles where you have your button, time shift, things like that. So it doesn't really stand out from that front, but you know, it's probably decent there, and it's visually like has good visual presentation. So I feel like this game probably pretty decent. Unfortunately, it's only gathered one user review. Not sure how many people actually picked it up. I don't think this review's in English. But my guess is that the gameplay or like the game genre is not really as popular. So you don't have much demand for this style of game. It is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. And then the next one, Dead Cam. So this one stood out to me because it's a very interesting idea, and you know, this face definitely stands out. I was like, this is a very unnerving face, right? It's like, it's the, what's that? Got the, it's trying to mimic something real, but you know it's fake kind of feeling. There's a word for it. I don't know what that word is, but it definitely hits all those marks with this thumbnail. So I clicked on this, and then it's a really unique horror game idea where the friend who's trying to kill you is a streamer, and they have like the selfie stick on them for like the selfie button, and you can actually see where the person is as they're trying to kill you, which I thought, amazing idea. This is an amazing horror game idea. Out of all the horror games that get released on Steam daily, like this is a very creative idea that I haven't seen before. Maybe it's been done already. It's not the first time it's doing this, but it's the first time I'm seeing this idea done, and I really like it. So they did the game is probably like mid, or you know, I think it's not too polished, but the idea itself is super good, and you know, it's promising. This developer shows me that they have promising ideas. Let's see, the reviews say 76. So my guess is that gameplay polish is not very good. So creative idea, and then the gameplay is like mid subpar. Anyway, that's probably what I expect, but I like the idea. So the idea stood out to me a lot. There you go. There's that. Oh wait, let me put that here. I'd probably put those on the bottom. Flex. Some other ones coming up that are pretty good. Puzzle Depot. Yes. Check the times. We'll go through this. Like the first video that I did after we go through November's overview, we'll do December 2nd's daily Steam releases, so you guys get an idea of what I do when I like produce this little Twitter blue sky page that I post, or the picture. So Puzzle Depot. It is, what do you call it? A Sokuban. Just a well-made Sokuban with a bunch of ideas, right? There's a bunch of, like a combat Sokuban. It's a combat Sokuban with a bunch of different types of tiles. And it ends up actually being really nice, right? There's a whole bunch of tiles that combine together to make a pretty nuanced experience. And there's a level editor. Like, this game is just the complete package. I feel like this game is a sleeper. I feel like this game should definitely get more traction because of how much stuff is in it. Like, it's got a level editor that you can create and share your own levels. It's got this expansive single player with multiple themes, and it really builds off all of the Sokuban mechanics with different types of entities, right? Where you can push, kick, different barrels, different enemies, different units, right? To create many types of puzzles that you are doing real time, because it's like there is, I feel like, a life. Yeah, there is life and like threats. Typically in your Sokuban, like Steven's sausage roll, you kind of just sit there and like get stuck, which is okay. Like that is like a more heavy puzzle Sokuban, where this one is more of like an action Sokuban, which is not very common in my opinion. There's not many action Sokubans out there. So this game, really, assets are really good, has a lot of gameplay nuance. Just, there's a lot of user features, like you can create your own levels. Just everything's in here to be a real complete game, and it's only $20, right? So this one, definitely going on my one. I really like this game a lot and what it has. And I definitely, this is the game, my November recommendation would be this game. This game, very good. I feel like this game is up there in games that should be getting more traction, but doesn't get traction because the genre is niche. Like, not many players of Sokuban, right? I don't feel like the Sokuban player base is very large. Not a lot of demand. But this game, very good. Super good game. Oh, so Lone Fungus. I've been on the Metroidvania train because, my Blind Racer Karushi Drive, has been really getting me into playing these Metroidvania games and trying them out. And, they are platformer adjacent, so I do go out and sometimes I enjoy them, sometimes I don't. So, Lone Fungus Melody of Spores is actually a game that I kickstarted. I supported their Kickstarter. So I had purchased the game, two years ago? And it finally came out this November. I spent a whole day playing the game. It takes about 1 day of committed sitting down 8 hours to get through most of the game and get through most of the content. And the funny story behind this developer is that they were on Twitter. They're asking what they could do to improve their game, right? And beforehand, their game was called Lone Fungus 2 something something, right? And I feel like as a developer, that's a really bad strategy to take unless your game already has traction. It already has a player base, right? If your game doesn't have a very large player base, stating that it's the second game of your series might push players away if they haven't played the first one, right? Because then it's for me at least, when I sit down, I look at a game and I'm like, okay, do I want to play this game? And it's the sequel and I haven't played the first one. I'm like, okay, maybe I want to play the first one before I play the second one, right? Maybe I want to do these things before I play the second one. That's a larger gate that the potential buyer might have to pass, a mental gate, being okay, do I really want to buy the second game without playing the first one? That's a question that might pop up. And if you don't have a very strong player base already, you might be pushing out new potential players of your game by saying that your game is a sequel to your first game that they haven't played yet. So I told the developer, I was like, Basti Games, I don't think you should name your game Lone Fungus 2 because you might be pushing out players that look interested in the game but haven't played the first one. And they don't really want to commit to playing the first and second game. Because Lone Fungus 1, if we look here, Lone Fungus 1 looks completely different from Lone Fungus 2. Right, so if I look at Lone Fungus 1, right? I really, in my aesthetically, I'm not saying the game is bad or good, but I really don't like the design of the first game. So if I were looking at Lone Fungus 2, had it kept the previous name, I'd say, okay, I'd go look at Lone Fungus 1. I'd be like, okay, I don't really want to play Lone Fungus 1, so I'm not going to play Lone Fungus 2. Right? But because now the name is kind of separated and it feels like it's its own standalone adventure, whether it is, whether it's not really it's not really important. It just, the naming doesn't make me feel like I should play the first one. So I could only play the second one, and it makes me want to, I don't feel the barrier if the name doesn't have the sequel number on it. Right? So that I told them that, or told them that, and they responded, and then they're like, okay, and then they ended up changing it. So they listened to, some of the feedback that was given to by random strangers online that I hope they found useful, and I feel like that was nice. So I went out and supported their game. Right? They're like, oh yeah, I saw that they listened to feedback, and that makes me want to support the developer, right? Developers who listen to feedback that is well spoken, I guess. It's good. It's good. So I support the developer. Purchased the game on Kickstarter, and it came out and it was great. It's a great game. It has some issues, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I would recommend it probably here on 3. Definitely the platforming part, very nice. Very nice. As a platformer player, this game, very good platforming. As a Metroidvania player, I actually don't like Metroidvanias that much. And the Metroidvania part, I didn't like as much as the platforming. But, that's okay. The platforming was super good, and it carried me through playing the game. So the movement, superior movement. Okay. So maybe it's getting a little crowded on that list. Good job, Basti Games. You made a good game. Alright. Oh, already 20 minutes and we're only through a third of the month. Okay, no standouts here. This is a funny game, Nitroglycerin. It's about driving a truck with like a bomb on it, and you can't like crash or you blow up. I thought that was very funny. The game looks, it's okay probably, but the humor made me interested. The trailer was really good too. I like the style of the trailer. Drillbird, yes, Drillbird. Drillbird. So, this game is Dig Dug. It's like Dig Dug and Splunky, but you have to come back up. So that's that extra, gameplay nuance. Because you have to come back up instead of just going down. I think in Dig Dug you also have to go back up. I don't remember. Splunky you definitely do not have to come back up. So, but it has the, what do you call it? Enemy entity threats of Splunky, like falling blocks, enemies doing things, different types of blocks that might be lethal or might not be lethal. Yeah, just overall it's a decent small scope focused game that has decent assets, and the gameplay loop is pretty good. I'd guess that it's pretty good. It's got 98 positive reviews, over 140. So yeah, I think that matches up with my expectation, right, of this game. I'm looking at short but sweet, small scope. Atmosphere's great. Steam World Dig, which I recently played. Actually, funnily enough, go check out the blind race on Karushi's channel. Yeah. Overall, decent game. I'd put that. I'd probably put that here on the 7th. Drill. Bird. Oh, Windswept. Oh my goodness. Windswept. I'm so happy that this developer was able to make back all their costs for spending 5 years to produce a game. I've been following this game for so long, waiting for it to come out. It's a Donkey Kong Country type game where you use a turtle and the bird, and you have all these platforming gimmicks. Super good. Presentation super good. Level design probably super good. I have it purchased, but I haven't played it yet because I want to do a blind race with @PrinceWaka. So that's going to be exciting. He's probably going to beat me because my DKC skills are very bad. I've actually never completed a Donkey Kong Country game because I've rage quit out of it. So it's just that platforming style is not my cup of tea. But I'm very excited to race this game once we find a time. So I already know this game's good. So I'm excited. Weatherfall, great job. Assets are great. Gameplay design is great. A lot of testing happened. Just everything's great. Just a fun game that was made with something about the gaming industry, as I've been doing these daily Steam releases, is that there are a lot of developers trying to follow trends. That's it. They're trying to cash out on some trend or something. But there are these games that come out of all the sea of Steam shovelware that come out every day, 50 average. There are these games made by developers that just want to make a great game. They want to make something that they had fun with, that they were inspired by, that they loved when they were in the past, right? A game that they've played that they really love, and they wanted to make their own version. And you can really feel that the love that goes into these games versus games that are just trying to catch trends, right? You can literally feel it. They have aura. They have aura. These games have aura that you can feel, right? And Windswept, Lone Fungus, Puzzle Depot, these top games, in my opinion, I can feel the love that was put into the game, right? A lot of these other games that come out that are trying to catch trends, you don't feel the love. You don't feel the love that's put into the game. The effort, the thought process, it's not there, right? But you just take one glance at Windswept, you take one glance at Puzzle Depot, Lone Fungus, and you can instantly feel it. So there's my little rant. Great stuff here. I'm excited to blind race this with @PrinceWaka. It's going to be super exciting. I'll definitely let the people know when that's happening. Great game. And then there's FaZe. So, FaZe... Alright, let me show a video of Windswept though first. Look at this amazing game. If you don't like platformers, you're probably not going to like this game. It's heavy platform. I mean, there's some casual stuff, but there's definitely stuff for the platformer. Oh, the platformer veterans, you know what I'm saying? If you're not a platformer player, don't be afraid. I'm sure this game can be played for everyone, but to really get the full experience out of this game, you gotta really get into the platform. In my opinion. We'll have our overall thoughts later on after the blind race, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this game 1,000. Love this game 1,000. Oh, peak. All right, and then FaZe. So this game right here, if I remember correctly, oh yes, it is I Want to Be the Guy, but it has the unique gimmick that you are turning on and off a switch that inverts the color, which changes your ability to navigate the level. And as you can see, every time you do this, let me hide the list again. Every time you do this, your circle where you can phase through gets a little smaller. And this reminds me of Kassadin, right? This is like Kassadin on crack. So you're like playing, like, if you guys are League of Legends player, I don't play that much League of Legends anymore. There was a retro age history. I used to play League a lot, but I've grown as a person, and I understand that that game is trash. So, but I still do it. Some of the mechanics in League and some of the champions, they hold a special place in my heart. And I really like how this game's gimmick plays like Cassidon. It's like I don't think I've ever seen a platformer have this kind of mechanic. Like there's been variations of this kind of mechanic, but it isn't exactly this. And I feel like the execution here is really clean. Actually, I really like it. So Jae-hun and Jin, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I feel like they are really cooking with this platform design. So nice job. I would definitely play this, but not right now. It's only $1, so I could pick it up and try it out. But I'm not. Too much backlog. Too much backlog. I think this. No user reviews. All right. Maybe I will pick this one up and I'll come back to you guys. I'll pick this one out and give them their first. So I'll go do that right after this video. Support these developers because I think they had a really good idea. It's a really creative and decent execution. Okay, so let's put FaZe here. I'm a big Cassidon ult mobility player. Anything that gives good mobility. I don't play Cassidon in League actually that much, but I like the idea of being able to move and flash all over the place. So it's going on 5. The Goofy Giraffe game. I wonder if this game picked up any traction. Oh, it did, a little bit. So the Goofy Giraffe game is exactly what the title says. It's you play as a giraffe with goofy platforming mechanics. So if you take a look, you got like this head bonk that gives you a boost, and you can do it in the air. You can literally bonk the air with your head, and you get like a double jump. The trailer audio is like not very good. The trailer overall, not the greatest, but just look at this world. This, it's a collection of assets, yes, but I feel like the game is meant to be silly, and they created a silly world around it. And they have a silly giraffe head bonking mechanic. So overall, I think this game is decently made for what it is, right? It's just a silly game. And you might be thinking, oh, what about those other games that are just trying to be silly? Well, I feel like this game, I don't know, I get a different vibe from this game. I just feel like someone really wanted to make something and put it in a toy world, and just everything's just goofy. It feels this game feels more genuine than the other games that try to be quote-unquote goofy, right? This actually feels like someone who just wanted to make a silly game, and they had an idea as a giraffe that bonks their head and to move around, and then they executed with the toy world, and it all fits together. So I like how this game was made, and it really focuses on that one unique mechanic instead of trying to do 10 different things. It's more focused. So this game gets a thumbs up from me. I like this game. Reviews, it's got 10 reviews, all positive, which is probably my expectation, right? From some of the reviews, it looks like fun little platformer, small scope, just for fun, not really any objective or anything. That matches up with what I expected, and it seems like it's just a good game. Good game. It's nice to see that when I come back to these games in the monthly overview, to go back and see if they got any traction, see that like it matches up with like what I expected, right? So nice. I would like this game to get more traction, but 3D platformer is not in such high demand anymore unless it's on your big console like Nintendo or something. Maybe this game could have done well on Nintendo Switch. I feel like it fits the branding, is like Nintendo's like more family friendly. No standouts here. Leah hacking Destiny. So I will mention this game. This game is too much. Even for a platformer player like myself, the reason why this game doesn't stand out for me is because it's way too much. And let's look at the trailer. Leah. This is absolutely too much stuff going on. So the animation's sick, presentation's really good, but if you look at this gameplay, it's just, this looks pretty tame, but it gets more crazy, and I feel like they really went too much.
Initiating robot verification.
This game has too much going on, and the colors are everywhere. There's just so much color, so many things going on that it starts merging or like melting. They might have, maybe I'm misremembering, but it looks a lot more tame than. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of bullet hell, and you have to platform through it, and I'm guessing there's a bunch of iframes, bunch of effects that spawn out, kind of like your God build type game. I think it would be good, but it's definitely too much for me, So yeah, this game, unfortunately, only 44. The assets are really good. I feel like it'd get a little more traction than it has, but. Yeah, this game, decent. Just the visual clutter pushed me away. Oh. Yes. Charat. How do you spell this? CH. Okay. Roguelike Racer. Okay. I think this game would do sick if it had if it was an actual racing game combined with this. I spoke with the developer on the community hub. If we go to the community hub, they said they didn't have any plans for it. Let's see. Feedback on the demo. Multiplayer. Any plans on a multiplayer racing game? Since they're a small team, they currently not thinking about it. Maybe if they made a bunch of money from this, they might consider it. But they never say no. But I think this game would have been super. If it had got some streamer traction, it was multiplayer, people were playing it, like some I don't know, big streamer to get this game a little more market, more voice. Oh, this game would have popped off. Because this game looks fabulous. Asset-wise, it looks great. Everything has charm. I feel like, oh my goodness, this game could have been a Mario Party chaos game that would have popped off. It looks great. There's a lot of charm in the assets, the track, generated track. I feel like the characters and the items all have this love put into them. It's just silly. They want to make something cool based on like collecting parts. It's got the Ratchet and Clank collection, Super Bolt collection. I don't need the other friend swap that's coming out.
Welcome
This game was
to the
friend swap,
Slugfest, the biggest celebration of
Co-op
hilarious
swap, friend
stunts and unnecessary
That-
danger
all those
in the
co-op games that are
universe.
coming out that are trying
Will
to
one
cash
of
in
them
on the
be
fact
able to beat
co-op
the rift?
being like
Are you
$5
ready?
and you just inject it
3,
into this game.
2,
This game had,
1,
like, the
let's
co-op
go!
multiplayer online. Go hard, go hard. But overall, this game looks great. It looks like it plays great. Game design wise, it does what it's trying to do, which is just be fun, make your car stronger, drive through more, monster mash, call it obstacle course game. Everything it does, absolutely fabulous. Fabulous. Positive reviews, only 39, which is not bad. 39 is not bad. Having any positive reviews or any reviews at all is actually pretty good. But I feel like this game should get more traction. It's got good developer communication. It's got a roadmap, right? I just think this game's doing the good things. Good things. Definitely should get some more traction. Let's see what this negative review says. Game feels too linear. Half the game plays itself. Yeah, obstacle course game. That's to be expected. Unfortunately, looks like some major minor optimization issues. I don't know. This guy's trying to play it on 4K. I never really understood that, but to each their own. Okay, yes, sounds about right. I feel like this game pretty good. Well done. Well done, Ivy Juice Games. If I were to replace a game on here, Drillbird, you are being deleted. Trot. Let me switch places with XOL. Actually. Alright. Boom, boom. Bam. So here's the current listing. 10 games that I think. Well done, well done. Super, super. Okay, Bow Hunters. Now, I don't think this game is actually good, but very interesting idea. Very interesting idea that I've never seen before. So, you're on a 2D map, and you can click into it to make it like kind of first person, and it's like there's a first person representation of the tile map in the world. And I thought this was such a sick idea. Like, the game itself is probably suspect, but the idea here is so sick. Like, I like how you convert the 2D map into the first person view, and it like remakes the world into that first person perspective, even though it's still 2D, right? That makes sense. But I feel like the idea here, there's a lot you can do with it if you like extrapolated this to something else. So like a better game design. Not to say that this game design is bad, but it's a little rudimentary and kind of like one note in nature. But I feel like you can take this and do something else with it and make it. So I hope this developer, Chatham Studios, they use this to make something else. Because this idea, I feel like this idea has a lot of potential to be really, really cool. Right? It's already really cool here, but the game is just kind of one note. Unfortunately, we have AI generation. This game stands out to me because of the idea. I cannot say the game beyond the idea is any good. It probably isn't. But I will say that this idea, very interesting. Very interesting. I would like to make a game with this idea someday. Maybe, maybe not. But I thought the idea was super, super cool idea. Alright, halfway through. Nothing. Oh, Kingdoms of the Dump! Oh my goodness. Kingdoms of the Dump. This game, oh my goodness. Their presentation, super good. They got these sick cinematic animations for their world. Oh my goodness. This game feels like it's doing exactly what it's trying to do, right? It is an SNES style JRPG set in a fantasy world. And the world building here, oh my goodness, it's so good. It feels like so well made, right? You can just feel the love in this game. I'm telling you, there are these games that come out that you can just feel the love that's put into them, right? Just from the art, the design, trailer, just from the trailer alone, right? They care so much about the thing that they put so much effort into all the aspects of how things are presented. That's like how you know that there is so much love put into this game. I'm telling you, you just feel it. Kingdoms of the Dump, it's all those marks. There's like these small details from the music, the trailer, the assets, the characters, the world, the environments, and just feel that they really wanted to just make the game and make it super good. This game, going up there. Going up there. Here, I'll even add this. 3.1. Kingdom it gets even more traction. I hope this game is like a classic. It's hard to get that nature to like. I think the very few games that right now that have that, you know, classified of the modern day. Hollow Knight's unfortunately is one of them. I don't particularly like Hollow Knight, but it has gained that classic status from the popularity, right? Something like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy. Hollow Knight is definitely one of the modern renditions of like that popularity. Maybe to a lesser, maybe more or lesser extent. I don't know. I'm not sure. I had to like weigh them both on two scales. But this game right here, I feel like it can reach that if it had enough traction and like more people were interested in the genre or playing these type of games. Oh my goodness! If this game was released back in the heyday of Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy, oh my goodness, it would have popped off. I'm telling you, would have popped off. Our current times aren't really made for this genre. I don't know, but I hope this game pops off. Because I'm going to play it at some point after I finish some of my backlog, but I would gamble that this game is freaking great. I would gamble it. I would do it. I would do the gamble. I would throw the dice and put my money on this game right here. Good job. Roach Games, peak. Morsels. This game, not going to get that much positive as much as Kingdoms of the Dump because this game also has the charm. You can see it in the assets that everything is like amazingly wanted to make their world. Just from the assets, you can tell the artists and the game devs, like, they really love their game. This game falls flat on the game design, right? I think the major issue is the game design. It plays like what do you call it? Twin stick shooter, right? It's a twin stick shooter. But if you look at the trailer, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Isaac, right? There's a bunch of these knowledge checky things that will just kill you and you have to restart. That's like kind of like Splunky, I guess. Splunky does something very similar where you kind of like it's like your first time playing, you get thrown into a new zone, and then like something just knowledge checks you and you die, and then you have to restart. Like, I'm not really a big fan of that design, right? You know, if you heard my other videos in the blind race, I do throw around the word Mario Maker a lot, and I feel like, unfortunately, this game kind of, from the trailer, gives me Mario Maker vibes. It does throw some of that Mario Maker trolling, which is okay, I guess, for like the roguelike series. Like, a lot of roguelikes kind of do that, but I don't know. I'm kind of over that. There was a point in my gamer career where I was like, oh yeah, Mario Maker. I love Mario Maker. I still do love Mario Maker, but you know, I think this game could have some tweaks that would make it less Mario Maker. It could still have those elements in there, but you know, kind of highlighting them in your trailer is like, I don't think that was the choice, in my opinion. But asset-wise, this game looks freaking great. Stands out a lot. There's a lot of charm and effort put into it to make the whole world mesh together. Asset-wise, this game looks amazing, right? And if we look at it, 81%, right? It's not majorly positive like some of the other games I listed. And that's my expectation, right? From the trailer, I'm like, okay, this game looks great, but there are some game design flaws that could be frustrating that won't make it have that, 90 plus positive review rate if the game was like purchased, right? And the 80% here kind of, it matches my expectation. So if we look here, really dig the art style. Fun to stick shooter, looks great. No content, no variety, no depth, no challenge, right? Here, it looks like people are saying the game is too easy. Game design, right, is suspect. Shame. Art direction, aesthetics incredibly strong, but it doesn't have the game design, right? And I that is what I felt when I looked at this trailer. That the art, everything, presentation looked really good, but the game design is not quite all the way there. I'm sure it's still decent, but it's not. This is not a game I would pick up, right? I could say that it's in my standout list, but I would not personally purchase this game and play it myself. I would purchase Kingdoms of the Dump, though. That is a game I would purchase, which I will. I will purchase it at some point once I finish my infinite backlog. A node. Okay, we are hitting an hour mark. I gotta speed up. All right, a node heart layer null. Great. Asset wise, this game, I like the isometric. Looks cool. Everything looks nice. It is a card collector battler. Something reminiscent of like Tag Force, but the card game is more Hearthstone like. So you can see it right here. The UI presentation, this is what I mean by the UI really fits the world. If you look at this UI, like the way they design it is that all the the colors match together well. It doesn't feel out of place. The UI doesn't feel out of place, and that's like kind of hard to get right. It's kind of, I don't know, color theory or something like that, but there are certain choices for UI design that you can make to make it so that the UI fits the game, right? And like your organization, where you decide to put things, this needs a lot of testing and a lot of multiple eyes to like look over your game. But I feel like if you can get the UI right, the UI to fit the game correctly, like it just elevates the potential, right? It elevates that, it makes that gate lower for people to really make that step forward to purchase your game. They just look at the UI, they looked at it matches, it looks great, and they're like, okay, maybe I do want to pick up this game because it looks like it's well made, right? And the UI is a big part of that. So this game really does a good job with the UI. I don't know what's going on with the thumbnail. The thumbnail does not really. I don't feel like it embodies this trailer. So if there is like a major flaw, just from a surface level perspective that this game has, is this thumbnail. I feel like they could have done something way better for the thumbnail with like how much stuff this game seems to have. I feel like there are so many choices they could have made to make the thumbnail a little more eye popping, right? Because you know, just like YouTube videos, thumbnails are important. That's how they get traction, right? My thumbnail for this freaking live stream is probably not going to be that great anyway. But you know, I'm not really trying to get traction with these videos. This is just a record of my thoughts over time, right? Or I'm using YouTube to what do you call it? Archive my history. So this game looks like a decent card game. I don't think the card game. There's a lot of keywords that could make it like a combo fest or a Hearthstone combo card. Call it some chain reaction card game where you have multiple synergistic cards that end up creating a super powerful card or a combo. That's what it feels like. Just look at the pack opening. Like, this is so sick. This is so sick. Good job. I would definitely pick up this game at some point. This is definitely farther down the list because it feels I would definitely. It feels like a time sink. But you know, I think there's enough quality of life that it might not be that much of a card sink. Like if you look here, that it shows you if you've gotten all the cards. I don't think you need to grind that much. It probably naturally lets you get all the cards at some point. So here, we'll take the mech game out of here. Yeah, the name of this game and the thumbnail, definitely, like, I don't know. Had I not seen any trailer and I just looked at the name and the thumbnail, I definitely wouldn't like pick this game. But whenever you hover over a game in Steam, it does show you some of the pictures of, like, it shows you these pictures here, and I was like, okay, I saw that and I was like, okay, I could ignore the name and the thumbnail because these pictures interested me enough. I was like, okay, this game looks well made, right? And reviews kind of line in with that. Most 90+ positive. Retrace the light. Yes, retrace the light. Okay. I end up spending more time on these videos than I think, because I just end up rambling. But it's really like my mind dump.
Next station, Shaolong
It's 90%.
Chao. Doors will open on the left.
It's a very cinematic game. It's a top-down hack and slash that uses time mechanics, right? You can replay time or record action. So that combination, it's not super commonly done. It's not like a common trope. It's definitely been done before, but it's not done too much. And this game, visually, the visual presentation assets are good. Got good sound design, which is really good. They definitely thought about how the sounds play, how it makes the game world feel. I like the sound design a lot. This game, I don't feel like it does too many unique things, but everything is well done enough that it's probably just a good game, right? I don't think that it necessarily has one thing that's really pushing you to purchase this game. Just like everything in this game is well made, so that it ends up just being a well made game. Nothing too crazy, but just an overall good game. That's what I feel from this game. I don't really. When I take a look at this game, it doesn't feel very inspired. And maybe it's because it's hitting all. Like, I just look at these characters and I think, oh, it's just like some anime trope stuff. Freaking, you know, Grand Blue Fantasy characters out here. Like, I've seen this blonde-haired, multicolored eye anime picture with porn-like female woman girl thing. Dude, I've seen it so much that, like, there's nothing necessarily bad about it, but I have seen it a lot. So I'm not going to be like, oh my goodness, this game's so creative. Kingdoms of the Dump is something that I haven't seen before. And it's not very dumb. Where like you have trash cans and recycling bins as characters. Like the anime blonde, multicolored eyed, light blue hair guy, freaking anime armor. Dude, how many times do I have to run through this? Not that it's bad. Not that it's bad. But how many times do I have to run through this? Okay. I am an anime hater. No, you know what? I'm an anime hater, but I do like shonen a lot. Right? But I am kind of tired of this trope. Not that it's bad. Not that it's bad. But I am tired of it. Alright. Super Rector. Dang, so many good... There's a lot of good releases this month. Overall, there's these hidden good games out there, in my opinion. But there's so many games come out every day that are like another Vampire Survivors clone, another Lethal Company trend getter, another Co-Slop, peak replica. It's hard. Or another Unreal Asset cobbled up game bare bones, thing. And then there are some new developers that are genuinely new to making games, or I just feel like new to like just new, and their game is kind of like unpolished. But those are okay. I don't mind those unpolished games of a new developer trying to make something. But I do have a problem with developers just trying to catch some trend and the game is low effort. Like a low effort trend getter. Like, come on, man. Don't have some more pride. Have some more pride. Alright, Super Rector. So if your game has a creative idea that I've literally never seen before, not that it's like the first one, but I personally have never seen it before, that's like an instant get on my list, right? My list, if you have something that I've never seen before, that's decently to well executed, I'm putting this on the list, right? This is a rotating, I don't even know, it's like, what is this? It's like the reverse of a bullet hell. It's like a bullet hell collectible. You collect while in the bullet. I think that's... I would have never thought of that. That's a neat idea. Instead of dodging the bullets, you're actually trying to get them while being in them. And then you have this transforming paddle that you can adjust to patterns. And it's also got the chemistry periodic table level select. Oh, that's so peak. What a great idea. Having a chemistry periodic table be a level select. That's so genius. I like amazing ideas here. Decent execution. I like the assets. So this game, probably decent. 100%. 100% positive. Everyone who's interested in picking this up is giving it a good review. I absolutely agree. That is my expectation for this game. And I love chemistry. Chemistry was my favorite subject, both in, pre-college and after college. So this periodic table, the dopamine releases in my brain. I'm like, oh yes, that's so cool. So this one, I'm not a big fan of bullet hells. But I might pick this one up. Probably not, but it is very interesting. So I'm gonna put this. Where would I put this? I'm probably not picking up Cuplex. Super Rector. Very, very nice. Very nice. This game, very nice. Alright. Let's see, what else? Nope. Nope. Primal Fray. Primal Fray. Primal Fray. So this game, it's a, what do you call it? Hexagon turn-based combat. Creature collector. Not the first Hexagon turn-based game that's come out, but I feel like the assets and theming here are all well done, and there's the creatures themselves have enough gameplay mechanics to give the turn-based combat decent game depth, right? You're gonna find yourself actually thinking about this game rather than kind of autopiloting, right? If your turn-based game is making you autopilot, that game might not have enough depth, right? So I feel like this game appears to have a decent amount of depth. And, you know, you got the pick 3, Slay the Spire choice kind of thing that's been popularized, right? Pick 3 is it's not the first time pick 3 is being popularized. I'm sure there's a lot of pick 3 in history. 3 Monty is pick 3, right? Pick 3 has been humans natural pattern for our history is pick 3. So it's okay, I guess. Yeah, I like the theming a lot. I think there's decent execution here. And the multiple environments give the game like that variety. It's not all one thing. Yeah, I think this game overall is just pretty good. It's just a good game. We look at reviews of the 14 that it has, they're all positive, right? Unfortunately, Hex Tile games maybe I'm being a little too loud. Unfortunately, Hex Tile games aren't as not in high demand. So I think for a game like this, it's tough to get good traction for like if you want to like have high sales and stuff. But I do believe that this game is probably just a good game. Probably a good game. Should get some traction for those interested in Hex turn-based strategy games. Got a demo, which is always good. Always good, guys. Demos are always good. Time Snatcher. Handy. So, hack and slash. Oh, you know what? There's been a lot of time things recently, actually. Though it's not as common, there has been a lot of time releases this month. I think 3 is pretty higher than what I would think, right? To have 3 standout games that use time as like it's giving. Oh, there's 4 actually. 4. The phase one kind of counts because it freezes time on the phase. This game, asset wise, like. There are games that try to use multiple colors, which is fine, but they end up running to the problem of having mismatched assets, right? The more colors you use, the more you have to think about whether your assets being placed on the screen like fit together. But this game has a color code. It like has a color scheme that it really focuses on, which is like the pink reds here, and I think. That's good. I think if you're really trying to focus your assets, if you don't have that much money to make a lot of assets, having these color themes are a really good idea. Just to making a game a little more realistic given your budget, right? So I do like the color choices in the game that they does, and like their kind of color selection. It really fits. Nothing in this game really feels out of place. And their time stop mechanic seems have a good amount of gameplay. It's like strategic, not as boonga as it could be. Game's presentation as a whole is just really good. So I think they really did a good job with this game. Like I said before, I'm not that big of a bullet hell kind of player. I like platformers, but I don't really like dodging bullets and stuff. This game, I probably won't end up picking up this game, but I will say that it looks very good. It's very good. 96, mostly positive. I'm surprised this game doesn't have as much traction as I think it would get, given my understanding of our current gaming generation. I feel like this game would get a little more traction, but reviews aren't necessarily a indicator for how much traction your game gets, but because a lot of people don't leave reviews at all, right? I've only recently started leaving reviews, doing these blind races, just wanting to be a little more, give a little more community effort for these games. I think if I were to make some gaming thing that in the future, I would want a lot of community driven things, right? And leaving reviews is part of that. So I feel like the reviews are a decent indicator for how much traction your game has, in my opinion. But, this developer could have only 29 reviews, but like 100,000 sales. Right? I don't know. I don't know the numbers. But this game, pretty good. Let's see. Would I put it on my list of games? I would. And I would remove Dead Cam. So, Time Snatcher. Mystery. This game's not a standout, but I will highlight it here because it's interesting. It is a match 3 narrative horror psychological thing. And the presentation here is just interesting for me. Like you're kind of like doing a slideshow, and then you have to do a match 3 puzzle thing down here to like unveil some mystery, some narrative. And I thought that was a decent. I thought that was a neat and decent. I said decent. Neat and decent way to make a narrative. I genuinely thought that this was pretty neat. Like normally match 3 and this style isn't really put together, but this combination of the narrative and match 3, I actually thought is not something I would have come up with, and actually works out to be pretty decent. I think it's a decent combination of game design choices. So I just thought that this was pretty neat. Pleasantly surprised. Cool concept. Yeah, I just think this is neat. I thought the person was cooking here. Maybe they can make another game that's a little different to get some more. I don't know if they really want to like make this into a series of games. I think it would be neat. This would be like their specialization. Mallow Games, you have a really good idea here. I think you should keep going. I like it. Oh, yes. Last 2, I think. Yeah, last 2 of this month. Oh, we're already an hour 30 in. My goodness. Last 2, Sequest Dungeon and Superstar Strategy. So, Sequest Dungeon. This is Enter the Gungeon, but for deep sea exploration. And everything just looks bumming. Game design looks to have enough depth and enough difficulty, but not too difficult for, an average player, right? The bullet hell is not too insane. Overall, I think this is just a good was not unfortunate. It was released later in the month, right? We're at like the end of the month, so I don't get to see how much traction the game is getting. But I feel like this game should do well. Like the assets are well made, and there seems to be enough enemy variety, like area variety, gameplay styles, ways or strategies that you have to do to successfully beat the game. So I think this game overall very well made. Assets are decent. Game looks like a standard stick shooter. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to do unique things as long as the things that you're doing is like. As long as it's good, I don't care if it's not. Right? Okay. You know what? Let me backtrack because I do not like how many Vampire Survivor clones are out. But I feel like Vampire Survivors is like a game that it's not bad, but I don't know. I don't think it's a clonable game, right? If you clone Vampire Survivors, like the game is there's so little game, in my opinion, for Vampire Survivors that if you clone it, like there's not much being made. It's not a bad game, but I would say that there's not much game to Vampire Survivors. That is what I'll say about that. Not a bad game, but all these clones coming out, there's not that much game. Right? Enter the Gungeon, if you clone Enter the Gungeon, there's a lot of game that you still have to make. Right? I feel like that you can put in. And there's like ways where you can inject your own like style, right? You can inject your own narrative. For Vampire Survivors, can you really put anything of your own? Oh, I'm gonna make Vampire Survivors, but with cats. Like, okay, like, don't tell me why I use cats. There is a game out there that came out this month that is a Vampire Survivors with cats. Like, just alright. No more Vampire Survivors talk. No more Vampire Survivors talk. We're going next. This game, pretty good. Looks good. I think it could do well if it got enough traction. For the most part, from the trailer, it checks all the boxes. All right. I've been getting jump scared by Vampire Survivor. One last thing about Vampire Survivor. I've been getting jump scared. There are these games that come out. I look at the thumbnail, I look at the name, and then I get those little screenshots that I see, and I'm like, oh, this game looks interesting. And then I watch the gameplay trailer, and it's Vampire Survivors. And I'm just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my last statement on Vampire Survivors. Might be too loud. My input capture keeps going red. Give me a second. I don't want it to go red. I'm being too loud. Vampire Survivors making me loud, guys. Oh my goodness. Alright. What is that game called? Superstar Strategy. So, think Advanced Wars, but a little more characterized, right? Instead of, what's it called? Copy of unit. A little more unit type characters. Presentation, UI, all fabulous. Everything matches, the environment, everything looks good. Very, very impressed. Very impressed. 16-bit to 16, 32 by 32 resolution. That is 16. Yeah, 16 by 16 tile. Super good. Everything feels stylized. There looks like to be a nice narrative tied to this, like a good single player. I look at this and Kingdom Solaris, you're a soldier trying to survive. I feel like there's a really good single player that's coming with this game. I see all the cutscenes. It would be nice to have voice acting, but it's okay. this game, oh my goodness. If this game came out like back in the 90s, oh my goodness, I feel like, it'd be a classic. It'd be a classic. I can already feel that this game has just everything going for it. Like the creators really wanted to make a turn-based tactics game that like combines like Advanced Wars and Fire Emblem, but with their own characters and their own narrative and their own world. Just this game hits all the marks. It hits all the marks, I'm telling you. Some of these games that are released, you just look at them and they hit all the marks. They hit all the marks. 100%. I hope this game gets traction because it looks really well made, and it looks like they put a lot of effort into the single player. Right? Let me check if there's there is split screen co-op. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a PvP, right? You can play split screen PvP, split screen co-op, play with friends, navigate the story. Yeah, it just looks like they spent a lot of time like making the story and the world. So I just think this game is probably really good. Gives me a thumbs up, triple thumbs up. I'm gonna put it on this list. This game definitely has the sauce. The sauce. Which one would I take out? Ooh, this is tough. It's tough. I don't have to take this one out. I'll add this to 4.1. Superstar Strategy. A lot of good games coming out that might get buried from all the Steam shovelware that gets released every day. I'm telling you. These games need marketing because they're good. These are good games that are coming out that are getting swamped by 50 games average released every day. Majority of them, 95% of them, 90% of them, not good enough. Not good enough. Like, unpolished, right? But there's about what? There's 30 days, one game, about 10 games, I'd say, like 10, 15 games. So, like, there's at least half of a game that comes out every day that's good. That might not be getting the marketing. These games on these lists, they're good. They're good games. Windswept already had marketing, to be honest. So that game's done fine. But there's these other games. They're I feel like they're decent. But they might not be getting any traction, right? That's my end goal of this, is to find these games that are well made. Right? I'm trying to like research a little bit about what goes on in like the industry and what people are coming up with. And it's nice. I see these games of good quality and I want them to succeed. So good job. Good job. I'm gonna put this here. It's a little too big. Let me squeeze it in a little bit. Bam. Alright. Oh my goodness. 1 hour, 30 minutes. Alright. December 2nd game releases. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Do it right now. This was December 1st, so we're going through the process. Let me get a template. Copy this down over. We are doing December 2nd. Go into the search bar. We're going to go release date, games, not free to play. Alright, December 2nd starts here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. 55, right? 50. That's a lot of games to be releasing in a day. 55 games. If it was my job to play games every day, I would not be able to play these games. It's just too many. And we're gonna look at the quality. Quality game, 55 games. You might be like, oh, that's a lot. But if you look at the quality of some of these, it's freaking cooked. Freaking cool. Alright, let's get our random number generator. Random number generator. We have 55 games. What will Google, the Google AI, give us today? 45. So we are choosing number 45 out of 55. Alright, 45 out of 55. I'm going to count backwards. 10. December 1st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ice Tennis. Ice Tennis for $15 is the game that we've gotten. $15 for Ice Tennis. Let's see. Do you guys see this UI right here? I'm just saying, I'm pointing it out. I'm pointing it out. Colors and the UI. $15. $15. I'm gonna give it the full run. I'm gonna look at this game, give it the full run. $15, guys. You know what? You know what? You know what? Maybe this game is asking the same or near the same amount of money as Kingdoms of the Dump. You put these two games, maybe Kingdoms of the Dump should be asking for $60, right? Instead of $20 that it's asking for. How can you compare? All right, dude, my audio input's going red because I'm getting super loud. How can you compare this game, Ice Tennis, to Kingdoms of the Dump? And they're both asking for around, say, this, like, the indie market, man. Is this why indie games have to charge so cheap? They can't charge $60 because there's games like this that are coming out. I'm not hating on Park Yong-pil, right? This is what do you call it? An air hockey game. That's fine, whatever, right? But you're charging Park Yong-pil. You're charging $15 for this. $15 for air hockey. That's not even, like, the assets aren't even there. They aren't even there. There's just rectangles with outlines. And the UI, it doesn't even have, there's no UI. It's just text. This is what I mean by have more pride. This is what I mean by have more pride. Like, game design wise, it's air hockey. It's air hockey. You hit the ball. I guess that's fine, right? I guess that's fine. It looks like there are some other elements. Maybe there's like a rocket or a UFO that comes in randomly sometimes, which I guess that's fine. But like, we're gonna go here. The game is Ice Tennis for 15 USD. Developer Park Yong-pil with a hyphen. It is air hockey with low effort assets and UI. Gameplay is there seems to be some small nuance with maybe a random hazard that spawns on the air hockey board, but overall just basic air hockey. Charging $15.
Charging $50. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. And then I take a little snipper picture here, the thumbnail. This, if it was not on the random choice selection, I would not put this on this list. But you know, I have a system where there's one game that's randomly chosen. If it's not made by AI, I'll put it in here and I'll write the thoughts. Right? This game, air hockey, low effort air hockey, that's charging $15. Insane, insane, right? Insane, insane, insane. Okay. All right, now that I've done the random, I'll go through the 55 real quickly. 55 is a lot, so I once the number goes above like 20, 25, I might be a little harsher on like what I actually choose to like put on the list, right? I'll go through it a little quicker. So let's do it. Oh, 2 hours already. We're good. We're good. Let's go through it. Ultimate Grandma Simulator. It's an asset game. It's silly. I'm sure it's okay, but I asset games I tried, like I typically go over, like I don't go over them. Super Drag Race, another asset game, default Unreal UI, it looks like, passed over, right? Wright Brothers Mysteries. Is this the Wright Brothers who made the plane? It's got that 2005 YouTube music. This game cinematically, actually, the cinematics are not bad, right? I actually don't mind the cinematics, but like, what's the game? Where's the game? Right? Visual novel? How is this game played? Is it like a QTE? So I look at this, and there's no gameplay. Like, how do I play this game? So if the trailer doesn't give me a good impression of like what the game is, like I know it's a visual novel, but like how do I play the visual novel? I pass over it as well. So like the trailer does not show the scope of the game. Doesn't go on the list. Saku Shapara Baseball, a baseball game. Interesting. Okay. This UI right here. Nah, I see UI like this. Bam, it's game over, right? Game over. This is an asset game. Game over. This is what I mean. Daily Steam release. I'm sure everyone's like, oh, isn't this obvious that the games that are released are like this? There's so much shovelware, but it doesn't need to be like this. It doesn't need to be like this. With a little bit of vetting. You know, a little bit of vetting and some curation. Like, Steam could not be a storefront of shovelware, right? Like, it doesn't have to be like this. This is an asset game. UI, look at the UI, default UI, bam. Okay, you know what? Let's see. This game has potential, but it's unpolished. It just, from the trailer, it just looks boring. Right? Like, okay. It just looks boring. I'm not gonna lie. But it has potential. I can see the framework. I can see a framework being built around this style, right? Where you can like carry objects as a blob and do things. But it's, right now, not polished. This just looks like an asset collection. But it has potential. This has potential. Unfortunately, I would put this as a has potential. Unpolished 3D puzzle dungeon game. but has potential if some more time was put in. Blop has potential. I can see this game it was more polish being good, but this right here not good. Type drivers. Okay, it's Type Racer with it's literally Type Racer with a little better not UI, a little more interesting assets for the background, which is fine. I want to put it on the list. There's nothing wrong with this game. It's just Type Racer, which is, I guess, and it has the car backgrounds. Okay. Wouldn't say this is bad or good. It's just Type Racer. It's like a Type Racer clone. So it's okay, I guess. VR game. I don't look at VR games. I don't have a VR. Boba Tea Shop Simulator. How many shop... Alright, it's going too loud. How many shop simulators do we need? I'm surprised this even has 12 reviews. That means 12 people bought this Boba Tea Shop Simulator, which is obviously an asset game. It has the default UI. Like, I can't believe that there's even 12 reviews on this. Alright. There's so many shop simulators that come out. Like, surprisingly, like, at least one a day, or one, like, that's too much. One a day is even too much. One every 2 days is still too much. One every week is too much. That's crazy. You just put any noun and put shop simulator, and people are like trying to catch the TCG card shop simulator trend, because that game, I guess it did well. I don't know. Crazy. All right, Flying Aces. That was a cool logo screen. Not the logo, but like that effect. Maybe it's a stock effect. Alright, we have frame rate issues in the trailer. That's already... Okay, this would be an unpolished aircraft game. That's what I would put. I would not put this on the list. It's a little too unpolished. Here's Ice Tennis. Singular Portrait. Hand drawn. Do we have a visual novel? It kind of shows us... Okay, I don't even think this is a game. It's just straight up a novel. Like a... I guess there's some choices that you can make for the multiple endings, like the bridging past. But... yeah. This would not qualify... Like, in my definition of a game... This would not qualify as a game, but it's not bad. It's not a good thing. I just wouldn't qualify this as a game. It's probably the narrative. I don't know. It's like a book. I'd qualify it more so like a book, like a visual novel, right? I don't necessarily consider visual novels really games. So that's a whole nother discussion. But and under my my, I guess, rules, I wouldn't. It's not considered a game. Okay, this is a hexagon turn-based strategy game, or simultaneous. It might be simultaneous. UI it's okay. I don't know why they put Mech and Tech 1. Are they planning on a sequel? You know, that naming scheme just doesn't fly with me. I think most people should avoid using numbers in their game titles, just at all, unless they're already established. I'd highly recommend not putting like these numbers. Okay, this game looks okay. I don't think it sets it apart from like any of the other army-based hexagon tactical strategy games, turn-based strategy games, but you know, it's gonna be okay, I guess. Grim Dank Survivors? Is this a Vampire Survivors? Oh, guess what? It is! Oh my goodness. I don't even, dude. I can't escape. I can't escape Vampire Survivors. I just... Yikes. What is this? Breath round? Oh, Effluence came out. Alright, I've already seen this game. Actually, and I know it's probably decent, especially aesthetically. So I already know I'm putting it here. Effulgence RPG. How much is it? $10? It's made by Andre Bowman. So aesthetically, it is games assets are made with ASCII characters with digital color scheme. Color scheme is very visually never seen this. Presentation. Bit to add to visuals. Yeah, the effects, sound effects. Very high quality on presentation. The effects here are insane. I wonder how he ended up I wonder what goes behind the scenes. There must be like a lot of shader work here. Okay, gameplay seems pretty standard though. I don't see anything game design seems pretty standard for the RPG aspect. I think the game's main tool is the building. Seems good. Well done. Good job, Andre Foman. Did a really good job on the visuals. I can't say anything really about the game because that wasn't really evident, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure the gameplay is just probably fine. Probably fine. If I had to guess, it's probably just a standard game. Okay, asset game. I can you can tell immediately that's just a bunch of assets, right? So like instant boom. My two main categories for not looking at a game, or if it's just it's a collection of assets, or it's a trend game. And once my subjective perspective tells me that your game falls into these two categories, I immediately it gets windshield wiped. This looks like AI generated. Probably is. Interesting. Looks interesting. This looks interesting. Okay. I want to be the guy, but even less assets. Another management. Overlast. Is this a play on Outlast? A horror game? It has the cross. We can take a look at it real quick. Off-road racing. This looks like an Unreal asset game, but at least the UI looks okay. Simulation games, right? Truck City. I don't like simulation games, but I'll take a look at it. This one looks fine. Survival horror. I guess we could take a look at it. Is this AI generated pictures? It looks like it. Rolling Rumble is an asset game. This also looks like an asset game. This is AI. I doubt that it's a real artist. Let's check real quick. It doesn't say it, but this looks yikes. No. It could be that old style. I don't think so. Is this co-op? No, single player.
There's no turning back.
Okay.
Life fades to
Trailer.
black.
UV light.
I know what they'll
detective.
say. I gave it. Away. It's another memory fade.
Okay, the trailer's okay. Okay, the trailer works. Is this an idle game? Guitar Hero, but trippy Guitar Hero. Clankers. That's a slur against robots. It's got mixed reviews. Minesweeper, but it's Sweep Miner, guys, instead of Minesweeper. Crazy. This looks AI generated. Okay, this looks okay. Oh, Vampire Survivors, guys. Vampire Survivors. I spotted Vampire Survivors. Here, we can take a look at it. Just so you guys can see. Just for the proof. The proof. That's an asset collection game. Oh, Vampire Survivors, guys. I spotted another one. Mad World Survivors. I'm not even going to click this one because it has the same name. Not as polished. Oh, there are so many of these that come out. These find the cat or whatever, find the stuff in the picture. Oh no, another idle game. Not interested. What is this? Oh, Vampire Survivors, guys. Vampire Survivors. Santa's Last Stand. Santa's Last Stand. Yeah, I'll click it just because it's Santa. Strategy war game. I'm sure this is fine, but I'm not interested. Toho, not interested. Trains. Interesting. Oh, Northern Lion's been playing a game like this or whatever. The Korean soap opera, like, novel game. I don't know. I don't get what these games are about. It's freaking weird. All right, so that's all for December 2nd.
Years have passed since the war, but its scars remain.
Oh my goodness! I'm trying to wrap this up in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Wrap this up.
A flicker in the dark from a ship lost. To space, a mystery too dangerous to ignore.
Neat art style. A small scope game.
Out here, there's no crew, no backup. Just you, your ship.
That's interesting. I can see what it's going for. Here, Luft Gears. It's a Game Boy. Managing a ship. Reduced complexity from the limitation. Seems okay for the scope. This is cool. What is that game called? Gardens of Mildoria or something. It's like, oh, this is cool. This is neat. What is this called? Kingdom of Night. Price range $20. Developer Friends of Safety. Pros. It's got 80s, 90s aesthetic, world aesthetic. World building. It's really fit and are well made. Game design. Think the game. Yeah, I think the gameplay here looks pretty standard. They use the 3D model for these characters. Pretty good, pretty good. I like RPG Maker. I've played a couple of RPG Maker games. I recently bought one, Axolotl's Quest. Axolotl, the animal. And I don't mind RPG Maker games.
A not so far future. Ah, your face says it all. Truly. I jest. Allow me to tell you, then.
Okay, but like most of the time, for me to pick up an RPG Maker game, I have to be really interested in like the world, like or whatever world they're building. This one just kind of looks trippy, and the gameplay is not evident either. So if you compare this with Axolotl's Quest, you'll see what I mean. I want to be the guy, but more not as polished.
Ever dreamed of inheriting the empire of the richest person on the planet? Welcome to Street Grub, the turn-based.
You know, these games surprisingly always have a decent trailer.
Food truck
Usually for the most part. I'm surprised they always.
Each day is a turn. By night, you're the mastermind.
They always come up with these trailers. Yeah.
Planning recipes, prices, the perfect spot. By day, watch the hungry masses.
Hashtag horror walking simulator. Oh, horror walking simulator. How many horror walking simulators do we need? Not enough, apparently. Not enough. I'd like to make a horror walking simulator someday, but I need to get the assets. Well, I have like a specific thing in mind. Unreal? Is this an Unreal asset game? Use the same cut 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. Oh. 5 times in a row. Frame rate issues. I'm done. Oh, voxel style? Not bad, not bad. Okay, this is probably pretty good. This is probably pretty good. Truck City. Not my kind of game, but it is Truck City. It looks well made. Okay, nice. Good job, Truck City. Cool animation. Oh, very unique aesthetics. This is pretty cool. How much is this? 15? It has the light-hearted art style. I don't know what to say. It's like the web artist art style kind of. There's it's a top-down hack and slash game. The UI. Game. got a good map. Let's see. Art style. Cons, game design / mechanics are pretty standard. Yeah, we get a snipping tool. Snip. Getting lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Developer Jake Friend. Okay, yep, it's Eiler game. Don't even need to look at it. Okay, asset collection. What is going on with this camera? Oh my goodness. It's probably not very polished. Probably okay. Oh, it's a clicker idler? No shot. $50 handmade maps. Twin stick shooter. Oh, it's a bi-state twin stick shooter. It's not the first time this has been done. It's actually okay. It's okay. Dual state twin stick shooter. Nebula cleanup crew. Nebula cleanup crew. Dual state twin stick shooter. Oops. Uses that seems like a decent twin shooter. Not bad. It's decent. It's alright, yeah. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, AI. Ooh, it's an interesting a visual effect. I like these backgrounds. But where's the game? No, that's not. No. Ah, that of course. I can't escape. Seeking Vampire Survivor's fate. Okay, get out of my face. Yo, find cats? Find 150 hidden cats. Oh my goodness, how many are we going to get? How many find the cats do we need? Like, you know what? Whoever's purchasing these, wherever the demand is for these you know, Where's Waldo's fun. I like Where's Waldo. I want that, there's a guy on Twitter who makes like these trippy Where's Waldo, like where Waldo's like this evil guy, and he's like, I want that game to come out, but These animal ones, I'm not sure. Okay, this game, the assets are all over the place. Could be the style. Let it run. Farming simulator? What? Okay, this game's a little too trippy. Mechanics are unclear. That trailer was not. Uh-oh. Pick 3 vampire survivors! Ah, I'm cooked. Okay, this is literally actually a train simulator. It's good for learning about trains, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's alright. Trailer is decent. Together. Okay. Compared. Let me get these pictures. Effulgence RPG and Kingdom of Night. This is the process. This is the process that I do. This is how I get those posts. That in there. The next one. Oops. Okay. You got to do a little bit of this. Do I have enough space for 3? I do not. One more time. I got all the information here. Get the new cancel. That. Save and release. Okay, that's how I do it. Another one bites the dust. December 2nd. Effulgence finally comes out. Looks decent. I probably won't play it. But you know, looks good. Looks good. All right, that should be it. Wrap it up. Final thoughts. November had some. I'm being a little too loud. November had some really good releases. Not gonna lie, those are some nice games coming out in November. Definitely a lot more game releases than October. I don't know if it's the season or whatnot, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff. Like averaging about like what 50, 40. That's a lot. A lot of games coming out, guys. And you know, of course, I would like, if I had an ask, I would like I would like less games coming out every day, but higher quality. You know, I mean, of course, common sense, right? That's literally a common sense statement. But you know, indie space is. I don't think the indie space right now is really good. Everyone's trying to grab the bag or something. Grab some non-existent bag. I don't know, dude. I don't know. All right. That's it. See you guys. See you next month. See you next month, peoples. That was November's overview, and I'll see you guys in another month to go over December. All right. Peace.